Hello there, Toonami faithful. I'm Blackenfist, as hopefully you all know. Now, I've already talked about what I think a Toonami channel's chances of coming to the United States and actually succeeding in the United States. What's the circumstances there? But Turner Broadcasting actually has plans to launch a channel next year in Southeast Asia, most likely in countries like Indonesia, Malaysia, and Singapore. Now, I think that if you've seen my previous video, you pretty much know the stance I take on a Toonami channel coming here. Probably it's not going to come because it's too much money. There's not investment, and probably Turner doesn't see the market. Like, I know that a lot of you guys don't like me saying that, but that's honestly what I think Turner thinks. Trust me, guys. Like, if Turner thinks if like the Toonami channel would be successful in the United States, they would do it, because they're just money grubbing. You know, they're a company. They just want money. Probably the reason they launched the Tsunami channel in Southeast Asia is probably because it's a lot cheaper to launch it, and there's, believe it or not, more chances of success in that market. Probably because there's a lot less crowded in the animation, and it's probably going to get a lot more exposure. And what I mean by exposure, I mean a Toonami channel is going to get a lot more exposure by the masses, okay? Like, obviously, if a Toonami channel is launched here, as I said before, the hardcore Toonami fans are gonna know about it, and the thing is, I don't know if all of them will actually tune in to watch it, and even if they do, that audience might not be enough, or it's not enough incentive for Turner to actually invest financially and invest heavily in the programming of Toonami on the Toonami channel here. But regardless, if you want to know more details about what I think Toonami channel come to the United States, check my previous video out. But Toonami channel in Asia, now this is actually very interesting. Now, I've tried to see, the thing is, there's only been like a couple shows confirmed. The only ones I've heard are Dragon Ball Z, Young Justice, and Batman Brave and the Bold, which I think is the weakest out of those. But it's going to be action oriented, okay? Hopefully Tom is included. Like, you know, how can you have Toonami without Tom? So hopefully Tom is included in this channel, like in its world and bumpers and all that. Hopefully you can get to see Sarah again. But the problem, the thing is that there's not many details about the schedule. There ain't many details about the channel. It's just like, yeah, Toonami channel coming next year, Southeast Asia. So there's a lot of room for speculation at this point on what it is, and hopefully, best case scenario, they fill their lineup with all top-notch shows. You know, they get the property licenses. You know, if they got Dragon Ball Z, that means that they're, hopefully they're gonna get more anime on there. Okay, and so, and also they got Young Justice, so they're gonna get that DC. You're probably going to get a lot of DC related things on that channel too. So the best case scenario is that it works out perfectly. They get all the lineup. However, because there ain't many details released about it, so I have a feeling that we're not going to really know a lot about that until next year, and maybe until even the channel is launched. But worst case scenario is that it's only Toonami channel by name. Of course, many people are like, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck, Turner or Warner Brothers? Like, they get a channel and we don't? You know, I understand that feeling. Like, they get their cake and we don't. However, I just feel it's a matter of money, really. It's probably a lot cheaper over there, and it's probably a lot easier to start up a channel in that kind of market than in our market, considering that TV has been declining in the past couple of years due to internet. It's been declining worldwide, but in a place like Southeast Asia, TV is still a lot more relevant, than in a place like the United States, where the internet is really taken over a lot more. So it's tough to start a new channel. Like, if you don't have a dedicated viewership, it's hard to build a television viewership in these days, So that's probably why Turner is very hesitant to do it. But regardless, hopefully this turns out to be good. Hopefully they include Tom. for all the news of Toonami channel, like, it hasn't been confirmed that Tom will even be there, so hopefully he will, hopefully. Like, so, but regardless, once I find out more details about it, I'll be sure to bring it to you guys. But hopefully the channel works out to be good. And, you know, if the channel in Asia works out good, I'm not sure if they might reconsider making a channel in the United States still, but the chances are a little higher. They're not going to be that much higher, but they're a little higher. But in other Toonami news that I think is a little bit more relevant is the Toonami schedule that has been you know, changing over the weeks. And I think, like, I'm hoping that, you know, it keeps going. Of course, we already knew that Samurai 7, and, you know, it's already been airing on there. But also some the Toonami schedule has also been changing in things I haven't talked about, like Symbiotic Titan and Thundercats and Eureka 7 joining the lineup. And I think the most surprising out of all those three are Symbiotic Titan, because Symbiotic Titan was a show that pretty much got screwed over by Cartoon Network because they weren't making enough merchandising off it. So they're just like, oh, we're not making enough money on this show? Let's just cancel it. Whatever. We only care about the greenbacks. But whatever. You know, it's great to see Symbiotic Titan again. I'm glad to see that William Street is not, you know, Adult Swim is not satisfying, is not just satisfied with keeping that lineup static. They're changing it up, and I'm good to see that. You know, Symbiotic Titan, Thundercats, and Eureka 7 are not new shows, but I feel like we're in, like, the Moltar era of Toonami again. If you don't remember, a lot of people don't, but in the beginning of Toonami, a lot of the shows on Toonami were just, you know, an accumulation of other, you know, shows that have already ran, and Toonami was really just that unique place where they all came together. And hopefully, like, this trend continues, so that way, you know, Toonami then finally starts getting some programming that's uniquely theirs. However, I do think that Toonami at this point is going in the right direction, that, you know, they're getting new stuff on there. And I'm glad to see a show like Symbiotic Titan on there, especially since it kind of has a sad history with it being canceled, you know, and I don't think it really deserved that. I think a lot of people didn't really deserve that. You know, there was a couple people watching that show, and, you know, a lot of people were disappointed that it was just canceled for a reason like that. But it's good to see that it's getting a rerun on Toonami. Now, it's good now that hopefully now that the Toonami schedule is finally changing up. The only shows that I think that need, you know, to be replaced are, I know that a lot of people like Cowboy Bebop, you know, but let's be honest, Cowboy Bebop, like, I'm expecting once that show finishes its run, replace it. Like, you know, I know a lot of people, like, they, you know, I really don't want to see Cowboy Bebop, you know, once it finishes, just to start over again. But hopefully, you know, they replace that one, and also Ghost in the Shell. Those are the two ones that I think most likely need to be replaced, mainly because they've had their time. The reason I think Bleach is not going to be, you know, as much as a lot of people don't like Bleach, okay, there's a lot of people watching Bleach. In fact, it's one of the most watched shows on the lineup right now. So there's no way they're going to get rid of Bleach. And of course, there's no way they're going to get rid of Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. That one's also, not to mention, that's an awesome show anyway. So, and Capturing Sins is still on there, of course. I have a feeling that if Toonami is running short on programming, then at all costs, replace either Ghost in the Shell or Cowboy Bebop. Don't replace Capturing Sins, because if you, like, let's say they have one show up to replace it with either Ghost in the Shell and Cowboy Bebop. If you have, I think if Toonami has to, then when Capturing Sins is done, then just start it over from the beginning for a couple weeks so they can get enough time to replace it. But only because Casher is a new show, so that's what I'm thinking. So, if at all costs, replace either Ghost in the Shell or Cowboy Bebop. But anyway, that's been the update on the schedule. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. I'm sorry that I've been putting out new videos. That recent, but I'm trying to do some non-Toonami related things right now on this channel. But as always, I'm Blackenfist. Stay gold.